You're finally ready to make the leap. You've made your decisions and are excited about building your own castle in paradise. But when the tropical islands of Bocas del Toro, Panama are your choice, you may find that paradise is a rainforest. What this means is that every square inch of undeveloped land that is not a sand beach is dominated by some kind of vegetation. It is fascinating, amazingly diverse, and seems determined to grow as thick and high as possible. The natural result is an almost impenetrable jungle. Many people are disillusioned by what appears to be an overwhelming and perhaps impossible task just to create access and make a clearing for a home site. However, it can be done, and it is often much faster and easier than you can imagine. Hopefully in this video we can show you a bit of the reality of what it might take to develop a lot for building and give you an idea of the logical progression of steps to take based on first-hand experience. And yes, the picture on the title page is me helping to clear a jungle trail to a ridge lot. If I can still enjoy this part of the tropical living adventure after 68 trips around the sun, you can too. Let me give you an idea of how it's done. This sequence is from a waterfront lot that was developed on one of the major Bocas del Toro islands. Mangroves grow all along the shoreline, so it's a waterfront lot as opposed to a beachfront lot. The first task was to chop down all the tall grasses, jungle plants, and vines strangling the interior of the lot. This took 2 men 4 days with machetes. A good practice when doing the initial clearing is to save all the living trees regardless of size or type. A week later, the remnants of the cutting have partially dried out and we can start to see the true lay of the land. It's now possible to make intelligent decisions about what else needs to be removed and what additional problems might need to be addressed or what treasures might be revealed. This particular lot was relatively flat with a gentle slope, but nearly the entire area was essentially a lake 3 inches deep, hidden by an overgrowth of vegetation. Obviously, a drainage system of some sort is going to be necessary in order to maximize the use of the property. Here is the same property a couple of weeks later after the cut brush has dried. Most of the leaves have fallen off and are already beginning to turn to mulch. A great deal of the small branch trimmings and accumulated debris has been removed. Some of the smaller trees have been thinned out along with some cull trees. Already it begins to feel more spacious and welcoming. Only a few days ago this ground was a virtual swamp. A few shallow ditches were dug to get a feel for what was needed to dry things out. The difference is already very obvious. Now that we have easy access to the entire property, any trouble spots will become easily visible. The drainage system was enhanced with a series of small ditches in strategic places. This all took place in the first month of effort and was the accomplishment of 2 men working a total of 10 days. So now let's fast forward and see what happens during the next few months. About once a month, the entire area is trimmed as short as possible. With each pass through, it gets easier and takes less time. Eventually, the ground cover becomes a collection of short native grasses that can be cut every month in a few hours with a weed whacker. Relieved of competition, the desirable native trees and shrubs flourish. Planting of additional fruit trees, coconut palms, banana trees, pineapples, and flowering shrubs and plants can now begin. The drainage system continues to develop and is cleared on a regular basis, so water flow is unrestricted. Once enough confidence is gained to reasonably assume that the drains are in the best position and functioning properly, drain tile can be placed in the ditches on a gravel rock base, covered with more gravel and a silk cloth and topsoil restored to its original level. Or in some cases, a water feature might be appropriate. Access to the property is a priority. A good dock is a must, especially when you need to start bringing in materials for whatever you intend to build. Occasionally a seawall or a water break is necessary to prevent erosion from the sea. Sometimes eroded shoreline can be reclaimed by removing the existing sand, storing it temporarily, bringing in fill, and then replacing the sand back on top of the newly raised and now protected shoreline. Depending on the structure of the land, it is often the case that boardwalks, gravel pathways, or concrete sidewalks are a good idea. It is a rainforest after all, and having easy access to fully enjoy your property is well worth the extra effort. Properties vary, individual tastes differ, and budgets along with time frames can be guiding factors. But this example property, consisting of approximately 3,000 square meters, or 3/4 of an acre, took approximately 100 man-days over 9 months' time to convert from dense jungle to an attractive tropical building site.